What's up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. I am here with Gravity Mark II and Mildewy Carrot, who is currently MIA but he will be jumping back in here momentarily. So, without further ado, this is ALWT Things Gaming, episode 25. Gravity Mark II, how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, sir. How are you feeling this evening?
Fan-freaking-tastic. Can't complain. Just been chilling, gaming, working the whole nine. Just trying to live the best life I can. What games have you been playing lately?
More of Ghost of Tsushima, and surprisingly more No Man's Sky. I actually lost my entire day yesterday to No Man's Sky. It literally just started with, here, I'm just going to put up some solar panels, some batteries. We're just going to do this. And then it just gets to, like, where you just kind of look at your base and you're like, you know what? I could use this too. And then you got to go do, you got to go to the space anomaly and you got to go get more stuff. And then you're like, oh, well, now I got to go do this. And then you go do that. And then you go do that. And then next thing you know, it's 5 hours later.
Yeah.
And your whole day is gone.
Yeah. And actually, Mildewy Carrot, you've been dabbling a little bit of No Man's Sky as well. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I tend to lose days with that game too. I actually lost a couple of days ago. I've got like three bases now fully up and running with solar panels, batteries. Starting to add more stuff into them. Got some extra cosmetics, but I haven't thrown them in there yet. I've been more into the mechanics and everything. I've got three ships. I've got 2 landing pads for them. I'm trying to get one of the ships operational, so that's been fun flying around, trying to get that going. Trying to find all these components for it and figure out how to learn how to make them too. So it's been very, very interesting. Not only that, also trying to become pretty much bilingual as well, or trilingual, or multilingual, however you're going to say it in this game, because I've got one language kind of partially learned and another one I'm starting to work on. So, yeah, it's a very in-depth game, and I can guarantee you if Gravity or I were to get on it and go from, like, crack of dawn, 5 a.m., we'd probably still be going on past midnight to the next day.
The whole day.
And we would still not be even off, like, the first, like the third galaxy. Like, we'd still be stuck there. Be like, all right, we haven't even conquered this yet,
Yeah.
No, I actually just yesterday found your guys' base on a hill. I just yesterday.
You found my base on the hill.
I found your base on the hill, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Let me go check this out." And I was like, "Oh, wait, this is concrete, isn't it?" And then I go in there, and I'm like, "Oh, he already had." Like, I was feeling really proud of myself because I had like 6 or 7, like it was like 7 solar panels and batteries all hooked up. I had like my teleporter like permanently running, and I'm like, this is great. I'm gonna go get more stuff. And I run into this base, and I'm like, son of a, they're so much farther ahead of me. I gotta like catch up now.
Unfortunately, I am the builder when it comes to this stuff. I will go balls to the wall for it. Malachi's over here like, I'm doing a storage plot. All right, I need some stuff. What do you need? I think I've got it in like one of my 12 vaults, which really I think right now I've got 3 of them down there.
You had a lot of vaults. I was just like at that moment I was just like, okay, no, I'm going. But funny enough, I was telling this to Malachi yesterday. I found I don't know if these are exploits or what this is because I haven't been able to repeat the process yet. Mm-hmm. But I found there were 2 things I ran into yesterday with No Man's Sky. First of which was I found a crashed ship that was it was just a hunk of junk.
Oh, the crashed freighters?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it wasn't one of the freighters. It was just one of the spaceships that you can get.
Gotcha.
That's like, yeah, so it's like you fix it up just well enough to fly it to the space station to sell it for parts. And when I went up there, I found somebody with a better ship, and I traded that ship and paid like 500,000 units to get his ship. And so I turned around, and after the transaction was done and my ship was still there, like my old ship, and I walked up to it, it just said abandoned ship. So I claimed it back and still got his ship. So I basically bought his ship for like, God knows how cheap it was, like how much he was actually selling it for.
Yeah.
And then I also found another. I don't know if this is an exploit or not, but I kept doing one of those like number riddles,
hmm
and it was like, oh, here, like we'll show you where a new planet is in your solar system. But I'd
Yeah, I
been to
know
all
about
of
those.
them.
I found that one, and I actually got a ship that way. I got a C-class fighter ship that way, which I'm trying
Yeah,
to repair up, which is fun. Have you found the warehouses yet? The abandoned factories?
I actually have twice now. Today was the first day that I took it down. I took down a Sentinel Walker.
I have not taken down one of those truckers. I hate them. Oh my god,
Oh,
they are
you have
so
to get.
hard.
You have to hop in. You have to hop in your spaceship.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like there's times like I've been flying around that thing blasting. And I'm like, this thing is annoying.
Oh, it's
as hell. I'm
mean.
like, to be honest, at this point, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fly away because I don't really care currently. But if I get a crew back together, we could probably take it out, no problem.
Oh, it is a Walker from Star Wars. It is that big.
it's ATT. It's like this thing is like, and you're like, son of a.
It is a big boy.
And it's the 9-ball actually commented and said, I lost a lot of hours of No Man's Sky to itself. So you guys already, anyone that's currently watching this right now or listen to this on Anchor or any other podcast services, it's a vast, beautiful, algorithm-ish world. there's so much
World.
universe, the whole shebang.
It's
Yes.
multiverse, galaxy verse, whatever you want to call it. Of like, Big Bang went crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting type game, and like I said, it's very, very vast, and it's going to be one of those types of games too that if you're willing to kill the whole day and just really just explore, you can, or if you want to build, you can, or anything like that. So definitely good to hear that that you guys are both diving into that pretty heavy. I know Gravity said they spent a lot of time on that. I know you've been obsessing with that a lot there, Mildewy. Is there any other games that you've been playing as well that you've been obsessing about or been itching to play?
Still waiting for Cyberpunk 2077, and other than that, I've been playing Smite recently just because trying to get that battle pass. I'm almost done with the first level. Gonna go to the second one. Still got some days left.
There you go.
So, other than that, been trying to just replay some of my old games. I did download Halo Wars 2 from the Game Pass because I played the first one on Xbox originally on 360, and I really loved it. So when they were like, "Oh, hey, you can only play it on PC, or Xbox," originally after I got the PS4, and I was like, "Well, forget that trudge." But now I've got the Game Pass. It's like, "Hey, it's on Game Pass." I'm like, "Download now, please."
Yeah, it's just so simple, so simple. It's and again, Game Pass is worth it if you use it a lot. And even if you don't use it a lot, like if you're that type of person that you don't mind the $5 coming out just so you have the access to it, then it's worth it. But if you're conscious about that, then it is going to be entirely worth it if you use it a lot. And so I'm right there on the fence because again, I had some good times playing some World War Z with Gravity Mark, and even though you guys couldn't hear me on half the stream, like still, regardless, we had a good time yelling at each other and they're coming up and playing on the hardest difficulty. Can't wait to get the rest of ALWT Cast on that game. And speaking of
Sea of Thieves,
yep, arg, the whole nine. Like we've been having some good times on that,
I'm actually planning on downloading that one for sure because that one looks really interesting, especially with the new updates.
Yeah, you for one are going to like it. You are going to like it. I already know you are.
We're gonna have a dreadnought by the time I'm done with that.
Yeah,
game. You're gonna be like, wait, why the heck do we have this? Mildewy sitting over there in the corner with a hammer and a bucket of nails going,
right.
No reason.
Real fast, this is not on the gaming news, but it is something I want to talk about. We are in the month of Cyberpunk 2077. Finally, we were in the month before
again,
but it got pushed back. And again, congratulations to Gotterano, D Gotterano, and Tori Ann, and Hilo, and Furry Fuzz, Furry Styles. You guys are all going to get a free copy of Cyberpunk 2077 when that comes out. But for you guys on this podcast with me, how are you guys feeling right now? How are you guys? The good, the bad, the ugly. How are you feeling right now being 9 days out from Cyberpunk 2077?
It comes out I thought it came out the 20. Which one? It came out the 12th, right?
I thought it was the 10th. I could be wrong because I know VJ's is the 10th.
But
Yeah, VJ's is the 10th. I know that, but let me
VJ's
take a look.
the 10th. That was the.
We all searching.
Yeah, I'm like, let me double check here. No, yep, December 10th. Okay. Yeah, good luck getting a hold of me. I'm gonna be off grid online, probably playing that thing like no one else's business. It's gonna be later in the day because unfortunately I work. I ain't got no more time to take off, unfortunately. So because I've already too much times I've already taken off where it's had to switch over this damn game. I'm done. I was like, I'm just gonna if it comes on the 10th, fine. I'll play later in the evening. Y'all can get over it. But yeah, no, I'm gonna be playing that thing straight. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be hard pressed to play anything else.
Are you going to pick it up on PC or PS4?
Definitely on PC. One, because I've got, unfortunately, my PC runs a little bit higher, but also because it gives me that feeling of like, as soon as it comes out after it's done and I play vanilla, I'm pretty sure modders are going to go crazy with it, and I kind of want to see what they're going to do. And see if I can play with some mods, because everyone it's good and bad with mods. You have to find the ones that are good and ones that are bad. You just gotta play with them. But they can be a lot of fun, or they can enhance the game in certain ways. But I would rather just play this one on PC, to be completely honest.
Yep, understandable.
Break it up to the 9.
Before we get on over to you, Gravity, you guys already know what time it is. Raise energy. I got the.
I'm your raise.
I got the watermelon flavor right here. I ran out of my my Pepsi, and I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and grab myself a Raise energy so I can raise the bar with my friends. Here we go.
Raise the bar. And sir, where did you get that Raise energy?
Oh,
that's
I'm glad you asked because I got it from Rep Sports, REPP Sports.com. Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout, get 15% off, 15% off. You guys can get your workout powders.
Type that in real quick.
There you go. Yeah, type it in. Get yourself some Raise. Guava mango, watermelon frost, which is right here. The whole
watermelon
9.
frost, whole 9.
Yep. That's a shame. It's a shame they ain't got no teas for you.
All right. What about you there, Gravity? What about you there, Gravity? What are your thoughts about, again, Cyberpunk 2077 being literally 9 days out? Are you picking up at launch? Are you waiting a little bit? What's the deal? What's going on?
I want to pick it up at launch. I really do. I need to platinum Ghost of Tsushima first.
Facts.
Like there's been a very small list of games that I've decided that I've ever wanted to platinum. And by the time I actually get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to platinum it, I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I want to play something different. So, but this is like the only game that I'm actually like, I want to platinum it and I really want to stick with it and I really want to follow through with it. Especially since you platinumed it. Like I can't let you be the only one in the group to have platinumed it. I'm gonna feel left out.
It's my only game I've ever platinumed too as well. In case anyone hadn't caught it on any past streams or podcasts, I've never went out on my way to platinum a game. But Ghost of Tsushima, I did go ahead and purposely platinum, just because it's just such a great game. Such a great game.
I just finished Act 2 and just started Act 3.
Yeah, we need to talk off stream. We'll need to talk off stream.
It is so good. It is in my top 5 best games I have ever played in my life.
Facts.
Easy top 5.
Yes.
It is. The story is absolutely amazing. The things that they do with the cinematic scenes where they will actually like change the depth. They have dynamic camera angles. They go into like a wide screen to make it look like you're watching a movie. Like it, and not to mention it's, and not to call Square Enix out because I love Square Enix, but like when you play like certain Square Enix games where like the game graphics are solid, but then you have the cutscenes that look like full on like $1 million like production projects. Yep. I love watching those, but there is kind of like that disconnect, like when you're playing and then you see that and then you go back to playing. Whereas Ghost of Tsushima, the graphics really just kind of are static. Like the cutscenes, like they're touched up. They're clearly a little bit better than just the regular gameplay, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
and it's still pretty similar. And the whole transition just feels very fluid.
Yeah.
Like just from gameplay into those cutscenes, back into gameplay. Like it really feels like you're watching your character do this. And my God, the story is just.
Yeah. And that's actually the same thing as that going. You hit the nail right on the head. Like again, no disrespect to Square Enix, and they did a really good job with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
It's just different people doing different stuff.
Yeah,
still really great work.
Maddie's son, who's a streamer on Twitch. So if you guys are not following her, make sure you guys are doing so because she's awesome. But Maddie's son is starting to do streams for Final Fantasy X, and that's a game that you can. It's the graphics between those cutscenes and in-game play are night and day. They're night and day. You can clearly see they spent some guapo money on these cutscenes, and it's a beautiful thing. So, so I'm definitely glad you guys are playing that, having a good time, getting ready for some Cyberpunk 2077. I'm excited, but we'll have to see how that's going to be. I'm going to pick up on the PS4 because I'm going to upgrade to the PS5 once that PS5 releases next year. So we shall see. But we do have a few topics to talk to you guys about today. And topic number 1, PS5 restocks. So, yeah.
Aren't those missing Fantasy's Tales, Uncle Cameron?
Yeah. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about this. So, Janae Sites from GameSpot said, despite several post-launch days, PS5 restocks, it's been increasingly difficult to find a PS5 available to purchase directly from the major retailer. Both the PS5 and PS5 Digital are sold out almost instantly whenever they were made available on the Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Now that we're officially in December and Christmas will be here less than a month, it makes sense to wonder when the stores like Walmart, GameStop, Target, and Best Buy will have more PS5 units available for shoppers. A tweet from Sony confirmed that more inventory will be coming to retailers before the end of the year, but that doesn't make the scramble to get your hands on the PS5 console any easier. When will Walmart, GameStop, Target, Best Buy, and other major retailers have available PS5 available for pre-order again? They'll be available to purchase online only in stores will they be available for online purchase only in stores or available for pickup? Some retailers have Cyber Week sales continuing for several days, so we'll be keeping an eye out for those products pages and let you know as soon as we're able to spot more PS5 units on sale. If you want one, you have to be quick. So, again, going back to the comment, all right, so PlayStation did go ahead and be like, all right, yes, we're going to have more out on before the end of the year, which is good. That's a good thing. Janae is right. It doesn't make the race against the scalpers, as I call it, any easier, because those scalpers are scumbags. The last update that I still heard about the Xbox Series X, and there could be news on this one, is estimated to be back in April, which is pretty significant. And I'm wondering, if PlayStation is going to fall in that same hole after December. Are they going to continue to trickle in more each month, or like what the deal is going to be about that? We'll have to see. But for now, that particular news, what does it do for you guys?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm skeptical, and honestly, I would rather them do a big launch. I'd rather them I would rather them wait till April and amass a huge volume of them and then just flip the switch and just say, there you go. Because when they have these little increments, it feels like it's just so much harder to get. Mm-hmm. And and that's just my opinion, I'd rather them wait till they have a whole warehouse full of them and then flip that switch and say, there you go. So that way there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna want to get them. But if you have a bunch of them all available at the same time, I highly doubt that they're going to be able to get all of them. But, I mean, scalpers have been showing us that eating up all of that stock is not that hard.
Yeah. I mean, once you have bots in place, it's hard to beat those bots. And I think the biggest reason why it's so highlighted right now is just because of COVID-19. Like, you can't just go inside the store and just pick one up. You know what I mean? Like, not as easily. Some stores are still doing it and everything like that, but you can't just go in there and just pick one up like you can 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That's what I did on my PS4. I just walked on into Walmart, was in line, got my PS4, I was good to go. Now they were limiting you one per person, but which makes plenty of sense. These creators need to find a better way of trying to sell these consoles on all platforms: PlayStation, Xbox.
I'm saying
Nintendo.
ticket system. I'm saying ticket system. Like it's basically like actually being in real life, like waiting in line. Like if you are the 100th person and all like the first 99 people in front of you didn't get it, like just say, hey, cool, you're number 100. As soon as we so basically you're the first on the list. Like the next time we get it restocked, next time we get it restocked, we'll let you know. We'll even send you a notification to be like, hey, this is back in stock. Do you want to proceed with purchasing this? Because like you know, financial situations like might change. They might say, no, I don't want it anymore for whatever reason. But I think that would be a much better solution, just to be like, hey, like let's just make sure that everybody gets it, so that way we're not all like racing for it at the same time. So that way it's not like that Black Friday madness where everyone's trying to get to the store super early. Yeah. We can just say, hey, let's have everybody form an orderly line. Let's just make sure that, hey, like we get it out to as many people as possible. And if you're number 1,587,000, that's kind of, I mean, at that point, there's not really too much they can do at that point. Like that would be like if you were actually that far back in line. Yeah. Like the odds of you getting it are going to be slim, but at least you're in line. So if that's like 5 restocks down the line, great. Then that's 5 restocks down the line.
I wonder if and Mildew had mentioned this before, and I do agree with it. Whatever freaking happened to the robot? Like I'm not a robot system. Whatever happened to the captchas?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Is like. Yeah. Like it's in places, but like you would think, like especially for these big retailers. Well, I mean, honestly, I've kind of seen. I mean, with all of us kind of having been in retail for some time, like you see this transition with some of these websites where they're trying to make checkout faster and easier and smoother, because the more obstacles you put in front of somebody to spend your money, that's more time that you're giving the customer to rethink their purchase.
It's a PS5 and Xbox Series X. They're not going to rethink this purchase. If they want it, they're going to go through hoops for it.
I agree. I don't know if they're able to do something where if it's over a certain dollar amount, maybe. But then again, you know, if someone's willing to spend $500
in this case, $900 for scalpers.
Yeah, and again, you know, just want to put this out there. Please don't buy these consoles from these scalpers. Yes. Please don't. Like, don't encourage them. If your dog takes a big dookie on the floor, don't give them a treat. Like, don't reward them for taking a dookie on your floor. It is the same thing. Don't do it. If you have to wait to get it, then you have to wait to get it. And you know, that just might be my opinion. You know, if you're really not willing to wait 4 or 5 months down the road to potentially get it, and you want to shell out that extra money, you know what? That's your decision. Right. But it is giving your dog a treat after they've taken a dookie on the floor.
Yeah, and if you hate this experience, remember that you're contributing to this experience right now. That's exactly what's going on. You guys are rewarding their behavior, and it's just going to keep getting worse. So. What about you there, Mildewy? I know you said that it didn't do anything for you, but do you have any other stuff that you want to talk about on that, or do you want to move on to the next subject?
I mean, to be honest, the scalpers are always going to find a way of getting through this shit. You know, there's going to be no stopping them right now, unfortunately, unless you do like some sort of hard-ass block on the site where you got someone like constantly grabbing IPs and all of them and just like finding a way completely, like finding the bogus information, like, you know, kind of like doing like a background check on them or something, saying, are you really Gravity Mark II trying to buy this system, or are you actually bot number X55344-295, you know? Right. You know, the only way I think they're going to get around that is you go into store with your ID saying this is who you are, and you can get the system that way. Well, we're in COVID. And?
Yeah. I agree
with you. We're going to have to meet this. I mean, but to be honest, like, you wear a mask.
Yep.
You stay 6 feet away from people. Mm-hmm. You go in there. You're behind the counter. They're behind their plexiglass. You give them your ID. You give them your confirmation. They slide you your box. You walk out, armed guards, whatever, and you got this. You got the system. There you go. And guess what? The scalpers couldn't touch it because scalper bots bought up 10 of them. Well, there's no 10 Davids or Daniels can come into the store. You got 10 freaking fake IDs. The cops are gonna walk your ass out in cuffs. Going, really, man? Really? It's. I really don't think there's a way to bypass it, and also I'm not even bothering fighting with it. I'm just gonna wait till April, which I kind of feel is probably gonna be a thing. That they might wait on. I know they say they're gonna trickle some stuff, but I think there'll probably be a bigger push in April for release. Because there's all this talk about the vaccinations and all going out and everything. So I don't know when I'm going to get one, but eventually I'll get one. Maybe 2025, We'll see.
Just enjoy that PlayStation 4 just a little longer.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's
most assuredly.
Yeah, that's actually good. That's a good point to make too as well. Because even though yes, I got the PS5 and yes, I got God of War and I love it, but at the end of the day, the library is still catering heavy towards PS4. That's probably one of the most beautiful things about this gen's console, because all previous gens did not do that. When a PS2 came out, yes, you're able to play PS1 games on it, and there were hard disks and stuff like that. But online play wasn't really that huge then. But PS3 came out, you couldn't actually do the discs unless you had the most expensive one that had launched at the very beginning. Outside of that, when they had relaunched it, it was just PS3 games only. And then coming on over to the PS4, that's not really backwards compatible either. You can just slide a disc in there. So the only games that you're really playing were PS4 games. This is probably the first time in a long generation to where we're at this point where you can play online, and online play is huge, and still play every PS4 game except for 11, which none of them really matter. Every single one of those PS4 games you can still play with your friends. So it makes playing on the PS5 worth it. Not even if it's not for the PS5 games, it maximizes your PS4 games with speed, with quality. It's impeccable, and that's the part that's really, really good. And that's the reason why I'm like, okay, this is great for this is a great way that they're launching it. So if you can't get your hands on the PS5 right now, don't be heartbroken about it, because they will come. They will make more. And honestly, this can only help if you end up waiting for real. Granted, I want everyone to have a PS5 that wants to get a PS5, but the more that typical consumers wait on a product, the more time it gives Sony and Xbox and Nintendo and whoever to work out these kinks that may have appeared at launch that they weren't aware of that was going to be as big of an issue. So,
and shout out to Xbox though. Shout out to Xbox for Game Pass, because they're really doing the same thing with their Game Pass. Yeah. Like a huge, pretty much. Well, honestly, I don't think they had any titles like coming out like at launch. So pretty much all of their library is all just backlogged older titles.
Well, they had one game that was at launch and it ended up getting postponed.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But no, they're doing a lot. Like I said, it's exactly like you said. Like a lot of these games are running very well. Like No Man's Sky, I have it for my PlayStation 4, but I've been playing it on my Series S because
makes sense.
Holy crap, the loading time just to get into the game from the title screen is like less than 15 seconds. Like it's anywhere between 5 and 15 seconds at max. Like it's incredibly fast. The frame rates are really great. I also just recently downloaded Fallout New Vegas. It's my first Fallout game. Yeah, it's my first Fallout game I've ever played. So
wait, what?
I've never played Fallout before. So
Gravity.
Hey, you know what? Fallout, and I'm gonna get like torched for this, but I was wanting to play Fallout 67. The graphics look really good for it. It looks like they've had some updates that have come out since launch that hopefully make the game a little bit better.
You mean 76?
76. Yeah, didn't I say 76 or did I say 67?
You said 67.
Yeah. You know what? See, this is I'm new to this. So but no, like I didn't want that to be my first experience. I've heard a lot of really good things about New Vegas, And honestly, I would rather backtrack to some of those older games and have it run incredibly well on this new console.
Sorry to be laughing at you there, but 9Ball just went ahead and said, "What? Gravity, really?"
You know what? Yes, really.
I would definitely say for the Fallout series, Fallout 3 is a good starting point. Fallout New Vegas is definitely a good one, and Fallout 4 is phenomenal, really good. Play through the vanillas though before you start modding for sure. There are a crap ton of mods for Fallout 4, not as much as Skyrim, but they're there.
hopefully with this acquisition, they'll be able to get more Fallout games up on Game Pass. Because right now it's only Fallout 76 and New Vegas that are up there. Yeah. So hopefully they get more up there. Hopefully, if they do, then I'll play them.
Hey, if you guys want to on a Saturday, possibly even this Saturday, we could get Gears of War. So you guys want to do that? Oh snap! All right,
you mean is this a 9 to 5?
That's
suggestion?
what I was about to say. 9 to 5 suggestion. This might be the way to do it.
Is this for real? We're talking about 9 to 5 live.
Depends on the Saturday we're doing it. That's all I gotta say.
I'm talking this Saturday.
I might be a little late pending. I have an eye appointment.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. We'll talk off stream about this because I don't know. It's just hit
it
me.
may go 10 to 6. We may have to push it back. A little late start. For the holidays.
Perfectly fine.
But yes, hey, to those people watching, if you have any suggestions for what you want to see in our 9 to 5 segments or just anything in general, let us know.
Yes.
Let us know. Let us know what you want us to see. You want to see us doing.
I kind of want to really play that Astroneer game though.
But they
made I did download that on Game Pass. It's kind of fun.
It looks really fun. It looks really very cute and fun type. But I'm always into builders. But anyways, distraction aside.
Off to topic number 2. Do you want to take that one there, Mildewy?
No.
You know?
I'll read about Fortnite, how it's still going strong.
Yay!
Pardon me if I sound like Eeyore when I read this. Chris Perea and Aaron Garps from GameStop. No, I'm kidding. Fortnite's Marble-filled season is over. Season 5 officially begins on December 2nd, and although little has been confirmed about the season as Epic Games wants to surprise everyone, but we do have a few clues about what's in store for the future of Fortnite. Fortnite's Galacticus event has taken place and concludes with a countdown revealing the start time for Season 5, 9 p.m. PT on December 1st, 12 a.m. ET on December 2nd. Server maintenance is scheduled to take place then, though, meaning you won't be able to jump right into the game. That maintenance should take 4 hours, so here's the schedule for when you can start playing Season 5. US West Coast, 1 a.m. PT, and US East Coast, 4 a.m. EST. Until then, Fortnite is currently offline and unplayable. New update Epic confirmed that the server maintenance will concede with the release of the version 15.00 update that will include all the new content to kick off Chapter 2, Season 5. However, we don't know what it will actually be in it. So no, Malachi, this is not like the last one where you thought it was truly dead and gone and they came back with a vengeance from a black hole in space. That was, I still, sidetrack here for a little bit of the past. It was so funny. Like, we get a text in the middle of the night from Malachi going, "It's dead, man. Fortnite's dead." And we're all like, no, this is a gimmick, man. This is a gimmick. And of course it was. The numbers they put up there, I think, was like the hours, like if you divide by a day and all, like how many days would be down. Like, yeah, they gimmicked it, but it was so funny. But yeah, Fortnite's definitely going strong. My only sad point is they got rid of that of the multiplayer campaign story that they were doing. They apparently killed it. That's how much I pay attention to the Fortnite guys. So this was one of the things I was like, for all the kids out there playing in their mom's basement, congratulations, you have Season 5 coming. You'll all be excited during the holidays before you have to go back to school online. So woot for you.
I feel like Fortnite kids are more so they're less mom's basement and more parents' living room. And are just very obnoxious. I could be wrong.
It depends on where the
Mom, get out of the living room. I'm trying to game. I'm trying to play Fortnite.
It's a 9Ball. It's a 9Ball commenting saying, "What am I going to do without Fortnite?"
Well, I can make a whole list of what you can do without Fortnite.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do without Fortnite.
Well, there's a lot that we can do. I don't know about Nineball because he has his nieces and nephews up in the building. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you gotta have something.
So you gotta have that
depends
Fortnite.
on the day and what they want to play. So either they're on his PC or on his PS4 or on the Xbox. You know, so it really depends upon their mood. But a lot of times they're on Fortnite, from what I've been hearing in the background. Sometimes when we link up, they're like, "What do you mean build higher?" I'm like, "What are we playing here?" He's like, "Oh, they're playing Fortnite." I'm like, "Well, there we go."
Yeah.
It's like the one game that I'm just like, take the building out.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly, like, they found a really good formula with it. Congratulations to them. They did a really good job finding this formula for multiplayer. But it's like the one game that I'm just like, like I don't like building, mixing in with these like high intensity like third person shooter matches.
Right.
It's just a little too much. You know what? Maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I'm just too old to learn a new skill.
I think the biggest thing that did it for me, to be honest with you, was the building. Like, it wasn't nearly as bad in the beginning, but it got really, really bad as the game progressed and people started getting more hip to this the style of game and everything like that. It just got really, really frustrating and annoying. So.
You mean when they're building
like
the
the
Eiffel Tower out of wood in a mere seconds when you fight him? It's like, shoot him! And now he's like 5 feet and like 20 feet, 30 feet. Wait, is that 5 stories now? Like, what the frick, man? No.
And that's exactly, to be honest with you, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. There was a time period where I was in a bush, as normal. I was inside of a bush and just literally doing recon on this dude. And he runs past me. It's a little pink little bastard that was like running right past me in a bunny suit. You know what I mean? I jumped behind him.
As you do.
I shot him. I was gunning him down. He turned around and built the Eiffel freaking tower. You know what I mean? Just like all the way to the top. Next thing you know, I lost him in the building, and then he's right behind me and shoots me and kills me. And I was like, all right, that was my last game that I willingly played Fortnite solo. After that, I was like, this is trash. This is trash. So
it is the definition of get good. Like, because like to an extent, you can't blame them for it, because like that takes a lot of skill to do. Like, I will say the one thing about Fortnite, like, is it's just that it takes a specific type of skill to be able to do that, and I currently don't possess that skill, and I don't wish to develop that skill. So if you are good at Fortnite, congrats. Like that is impressive. Like, that is legitimately impressive.
I'm not impressed.
I'm impressed. I will say the people who are really good at Fortnite, I'm impressed with that. But I'll say, like, that's just your thing. It's not my thing. But like, congratulations for being really good at that. It's like being good at like Mario or something. You know, like those speedrunners who are just able to just blow through these games like really fast. You're just like, not really my thing, but good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warzone.
Warzone's where it's at for me. That I've been waiting for something like that for a while, and I'm very glad that it exists right now. So shout out to Warzone. Shout out to Activision. You guys are doing the thing. Real fast, Nineball says, yeah, quote unquote, recon. I need you to get out the chat there, Nineball. No, I was just kidding. This is a good time.
I think we still got that video saved somewhere, Nineball, of us wondering where it was, and we find
Story number 3. Story number 3. PlayStation 4's command over exclusive leads to the promising start for the PS5. Gravity, do you want to take this one?
Give me a sec, because I am very organized here.
Yeah, you are.
I'm super organized. I am the most organized.
Yeah. So organized, and over-organized.
And as he's sorting out his over-organized desktop, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that you guys can follow us again on social media platforms, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Pretty much type in ALWT Gaming. On any of those platforms, you should be able to find us. On YouTube, if you have a hard time finding us on ALWT Gaming, just type in At Least We Tried Gaming, because At Least We Tried. Gmail itself is atleastwetried.gaming@gmail.com. And of course, Patreon is www.patreon.com/ALWT Gaming. We appreciate you guys' subscriptions, the whole nine. We have more stuff that's going to be coming up inside 2021, as well as 95 segments, Sin segments, podcast with All Things Gaming and more. 2 minutes with Mildewy Carrot on his streams that he does with Spider-Man, which I think is completed.
Main story is completed. This coming Sunday, I'm actually gonna go through the DLCs that I've got. So I know I wasn't there this last Sunday and all. I've been trying to recuperate and get my mentalities back, all my mental faculties back in action, and it's taking a moment. Unfortunately, I still use dial-up, so it's getting there. But I'm gonna go through those because I definitely want to play Black Cat's DLC. So can't wait for that. But yeah, that's done, and I'm trying to figure out what my next game would be, which is probably going to be, coming December 10th, Cyberpunk 2077.
There you go. There you go. So if you guys want to see some more gameplay from Mildewy Carrot, you see Abs 3315 screaming at the top of her lungs on some Apex. See it's the 9 ball inside of our Smite saying it's fine. If you want to see that, just follow us on ALWT Gaming on our social media platforms. We have a good time. Gravity.
We need a T-shirt for that.
Well, for what? It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
T-shirt. We do. Yeah, we do.
We need a T-shirt that just says it's fine.
Speaking of which, isn't our dear Gravity getting on some Smite now? Are we getting his feet wet in the arena?
I need to. I need to get my feet wet in the arena. I need to step in more. I need to join your Smite nights more often.
Smite night.
We'll get you on tomorrow. We'll get you the rundown.
I'll see if I can make the time. Let's see. Story number 3. PlayStation 4's command over exclusives leads to promising start for PlayStation 5. Let's see. Phil Hornshaw from GameSpot, quote, "The PlayStation 5 is officially out in the world if you can get one, and its release means that Sony has officially kicked off the next generation of PlayStation, while the platform maker will continue to support its last generation console for at least a couple of years, and we can expect new games to still appear on the PlayStation 4. We're unlikely to see new iterations on the legacy machine or any major moves with peripherals or new ideas. I can't read to save my life. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how I got through school."
You played Fortnite.
Hey, you know what?
Too much time building.
You quit picking on those Fortnite kids. The PlayStation 4's time in the spotlight has come to an end. I don't think so. As we enter a new chapter in the life of Sony's PlayStation brand, we're taking a look back at the life of the PlayStation 4, its place on the gaming landscape, and how things are changing with the PlayStation 5. Since its release in 2013, the PlayStation 4 has been a force in the gaming landscape and across the last 7 years, and it's been clear that Sony and its gaming machine took the lead against the competition. End quote.
Right. So what does that do for you there, Gravity, after you read that? What statements stuck out to you, and how does that make you feel about the transition from last gen to next gen?
I completely agree that PlayStation 4 did something very special. For me, I think PlayStation 4 did something very special during its life run. It's brought a lot of games that I've wanted to see back. It brought Final Fantasy VII Remake into the world. Wasn't that promised? Wasn't that released during the lifespan of the PlayStation 3?
No.
Was it not? When did they announce it back? It was a while ago.
Yeah, they announced that. I think it was 2014, which was 6 years ago.
That's still a long time ago.
Yeah, it's definitely a while ago. But
yeah. I at the very least am just kind of gonna go with the flow with this. I'm gonna just go off of past knowledge that I'm familiar with, which is that maybe for the next 2 or 3 years, any new release, they're probably gonna have a dual release for the PlayStation 5 as well as the PlayStation 4. That's usually how that goes, where they have a weaning period, and then eventually at some point they're like, no, this new game is only next gen.
Yeah.
And once you start to really see those games pop up, at the very least for me, that's the marker. That's kind of that indicator from these companies that they're going to start trying to really push you towards that next console. is when they start to make new games that are only for the next gen.
Yeah. And they actually did capitalize on that, and the estimation that they had that will happen as far as them stopping making games for PS4 and just strictly make games for the PS5. They estimated that to be 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
See, yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing for them to do, again, to kind of cater to the people that's having a hard time through COVID of trying to get themselves a PS5, even if they can get their hands on the PS5 financial wise. Most gamers are going to have some sort of PlayStation 4 if they're trying to get heavy into the PS5 like that. Because I think to be completely honest with you, as far as outside of software, because software wise the PlayStation 4 wrecked it by all means in my opinion. Outside of software wise, there's only one other time that the PS4 in my eyes kind of shined, and that was them dropping the mic on Xbox when Xbox was just like, you have to have the Connect, you have to update every 24 hours or something like that. Can't share your games with different friends. And PlayStation was just like, you know what? All that gone. You can go ahead and share your friends games with your friends. You don't have to be online 24/7 for it to crash. Whatever the case is, like they did a huge flex there, and then after that, like that was it. So like they just relied on the software, which that's what the systems are built for. They're built for the games. That's entirely what they are. But at the same time, I don't know if it did anything mind breaking outside of software, because you have to include Horizon Zero Dawn when you talk about PS4. You have to talk about Days Gone. You have to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like you have to talk about these games that were really big heavy hitters. Persona 5 Royal. You know what I mean? Like you have to talk about those big heavy hitters when you're talking about the PS4. Otherwise, the PS4 is just a machine. You know what I mean? So I think in hindsight, as far as for me to go, I don't think that it's going to fully dismiss PS4 right now, just because again, one, it's hard to get a system as we mentioned numerous times on this podcast already, but then two, like Jim Ryan and the team for like all the Chiefs and stuff like that are really focused on trying to cater to PlayStation 4 users right now and ease them into the PS5. Because at the end of the day, if everyone had the PS5 and the PS4, if every single person had PS5 and PS4 that wanted a PS5 and PS4, chances are they're going to play on the PS5 because it's faster, it's smoother, it boosts your games. Some of them have ray tracing. It just makes a lot more sense to play on that. You know what I mean? Versus over your PS4. So I think the PS5 definitely is a more dominant system. It's just really hard to get your hands on it right now. So I think they're kind of prematurely saying that the PS4 is past tense now, because it's not. It's still very much current. But I think in the next year or so, it will be past gen, and that life cycle and the spotlight will be done for the PS4. Mildewy.
No, go ahead, Mildewy.
I was gonna say, I mean, I kind of agree, but my main thing is just, I agree with you, Malachi, on that one, is that because it is very hard to get a hold of a PS5 right now, you're not going to lose PS4 consoles. People are not going to give them up at all until they can get their hands on the PS5, which may be coming sometime soon with some fantasy restock dates that they're promising, you know, or it could be later next year or the year after, you know, because of stock issues or scalpers or who knows what. So I really agree that the PS4 is not going to go away. I definitely agree it's not going to go any further than it has already. It's definitely hit its high point, but it's going to be there still until we get those PS5s in almost every household. So for every person who owns a PS4, until they get a PS5 in replacement of it, it's going to be there and it's going to be played. So they're going to have to keep an eye on it until that time frame. So it's not fully phased out yet. But other than that, I mean, I definitely agree with the fact of, like I said, you know, that it's definitely hit its high point. I'm glad, though, that they're going to still kind of release the newer games onto it, because that kind of tells me that these developers are aware of the situation, that they're aware that, you know, it is kind of hard for these people to get a PS5 in their household. So they're going to give them a game to play on the 4. It's probably not going to be as good as it could be, but then when they get up to the 5, then they could bring it over and finally experience the advancedness of it and get the capability of playing the game at the best level that it can be with the PS5. Yeah. You know, I mean, we saw it kind of happen with the PS4 transitions from 3 to 4 with like some games, like one of them that I dealt with was Inquisition. You know, on the PS3, the game was it was launched for it, very low end and all. I mean, but it was kind of built for that game. But then they came out with it on 4 as well. So, but when you bought it on 4, it was a completely different system, like a completely different game. Like there's so much more detail into it, so much more graphics. There's more interactions with other AIs and all because they didn't have to nerf it down for the system. So I'm definitely going to agree. You could play a game on PS4 right now, and it's going to be pretty good. But when you play it on 5 later, once you get that, it's going to be fantastic. So,
Yeah.
But we got to get them in the households, and right now it's very difficult to do.
And I will say this because there's a lot of talk as far as saying that the spotlight is off PS4, which again it is, but the way that PS4 the beginning of PS4 software wise wasn't really too impressive. It was just okay. The middle of PS4 were bangers. That's when your Spider-Mans came out. That's when your God of War came out. That's when Days Gone is kind of roughly in the middle-ish. Horizon. Those games were bangers. The ultimate way to end it was with Ghost of Tsushima because that was technically the last era game. Of course, you're going to have Cyberpunk 2077 that's going to be coming out too as well. But that Ghost of Tsushima was the last era game that was going to be happening for the PS4. That is a heck of a way to exit the last generation. Right after you just had Last of Us Part 2, right before that, like that is one heck of a way to end the generation. So I for one, I'm thankful for my PS4 and I'm sitting there all pretty and everything like that right underneath my PS5. But still, I'm just saying, I cannot wait. And the way that they started off with the library of the PS5 by bringing over those PS4 games, literally all of them except for 11, it's a good start. It's a good start, and I hope that demand will continue over the next year or so, and then at that point we can start segueing into PS5 only type games and stuff like that. And I want to see what devs do with that responsibility moving forward, because it's a thing of beauty when you have certain developers like Santa Monica or even Hi-Rez. Hi-Rez been doing great with Final Fantasy with Smite. Like they've been doing great with that. You have Guerrilla Gaming's like just a whole. Some of these devs are amazing, and I think that if they don't have to worry about downgrading for the PS4 and just strictly focus on the PS5, it's going to be we're in for a treat. We are in for a treat. I truly think so.
Now, while we're on the subject, though,
yeah,
because you have your PlayStation 5, have you tested out the PlayStation 4's remote play for PlayStation 5 yet?
You know what? I still haven't got that. Blue Point Games, another one that Nine Ball just threw out there, by the way. Yeah, fantastic company. But no, back to your inquiry there. I haven't tried them in remote play. I mean, I haven't really had a necessity to do so because they're in the same room.
Of course,
but yeah, it makes me wonder. I want to try that out one of these days.
Yeah, because I know that is a way that is something that Sony is using to try to prolong the life of this PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. Because even if you get to a point where you have your PlayStation 5, it works fine, it works great, you have your games on there. If it works, if the remote play for the PlayStation 4 works well enough, where you can actually play your games on your PlayStation 4 in a separate room, but using the PlayStation 5, like I'm wondering what level of quality you're going to get. Like I'm wondering what the quality is going to be. I'm wondering what games you might have access to. Like, will you be able to play PlayStation 5 games on there? Is it going to downplay some of those graphics and some of the frame rates with that? I'm interested to see, get more information on what specifically is, that entails. And I probably need to go out of my way to actually look at that because I'm sure that's all over the place now. But I wanted to pick your brain on it. See if you had tried it out yet.
Yeah, I personally haven't tried it out, but if it's anything like the Vita, by the way, PlayStation, just bring me back my Vita, please. Just bring me back my Vita.
Please bring back the Vita.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful piece of tech. But if it was anything like the Vita, I'll be able to play my PlayStation 5 games on my PS4 because my PS4 would just be mirroring what's going off of my PS5 right now. So if it's anything like that, then yeah, I'll be able to do literally everything, be able to even play online. I don't think quality will be lowered too heavily. I think it will, unless I'm playing online. If I'm playing online, it might be lowered. But if I'm playing like a game like Ghost of Tsushima, just not online, just doing it offline, I think it will just run just as smooth. I don't think it would be anything too crazy because I've done that with my Vita and I loved it. The only thing is that my the way I held the Vita was a little. I needed to have the grips. That was my only thing with that. But yeah, other than that, like yeah, if it's like the Vita, it's going to work just perfectly fine. I can't wait for you guys to get your PS5 so we can try to do that whole screen share on the PS5. I really want to test that out and see what that's going to be like, and stream with you guys playing some Call of Duty and watching me get sniped, but then Richard go ahead and taking them out. You know what I mean? Like I want to see all that. The next story that we have right here, which is not necessarily a story, but is a story. So, VGAs is around the corner. In case you guys do not know what VGAs stand for, that is Video Game Awards. And for anyone that had submitted in your predictions, because again, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we had listed on, I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we went ahead and gave you guys the nominees for each category. If you guys have not submitted it into the at least we tried .gaming Gmail by this time, I'm actually going to give you guys to the end of the episode. So you guys got roughly another 6 to 30 minutes to go ahead and submit your submissions. And if you guys, whoever has the most right will win a free standard video game of your choice on any platform. So it could be a PC game, it could be a PS4 game, it could be a PS5 game, it could be a 360 game, it could be Xbox One, whatever it is, but it has to be standard. We're not into that deluxe stuff. We're not made of money. You know what I mean?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So, but yeah, so all you have to do is just submit your picks for the VGA awards, your predictions, and on the 10th, we're going to go ahead. That's when it goes on. We have to kind of see how we're going to do that. If we're going to react to it live or if we're just going to react to it on Friday, which would be the 11th. But yeah, but regardless, I'm very curious to see how the VGAs is going to go. I'm very excited about that. So kind of going on to that story right now. Aaron Garst from GameSpot. The game industry's version of the Emmys are almost here. The Game Awards will be broadcasted from Hollywood, California on December 10th. With the segments happening in different locations. The annual show will take place entirely online due to the pandemic. The Game of the Year nominees include Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Hades. Hades made his way up there, which is really impressive, by the way. Other notable nominees include 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Half-Life Alyx, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and many others. You can check out the full list of the Game Award nominees to see who was nominated in each category. Host Jeff Keighley has said that announcements surrounding the show will be coming up all week. Last year's show had plenty of surprises, including the appearance of the Muppets and a number of musical performances. We could see something similar like that this year. We'll keep you updated with what the show will include right here as announcements are revealed. So be on the lookout for that. Guys, what are your thoughts about the Video Game Awards? Have you guys got a chance to take a look at the list of the nominees, and what are your guys' thoughts about that?
Doesn't surprise me with a lot of these nominees that are on here. You've got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades. That one I actually am not too familiar with. But Animal Crossing New Horizons, and of course, The Last of Us Part 2. These are really good games that came out that several people have been waiting for in terms of whichever group you're looking at for them. So definitely, Final Fantasy, Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Last of Us Part 2, I think are very top contenders. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Hades from Supergiant Games, so I'm not really familiar with them. I'd have to look into that one more. If I had to pick one of those games out of them all, like in terms of my top favorite, it's going to be between Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us Part 2. But if I had to go off of what I thought the world might pick, I think it might be Animal Crossing. Because unfortunately, I will agree with some of our other cohorts who said this. It came out at the perfect time.
Yeah,
like they could not have done better. Like they would need to have Trelawney pull out a prophecy out of who knows where to launch that on time. Like that was like the stroke of luck for them, and I think it's really going to help them here in this one because it's came together to allow people to play together and interact together online from across the world to help keep kids entertained while adults were at home working because of the situation going on with the pandemic and all. Like I think it might take top, but like I said, if I had to pick, it's between Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2. If I had to truly pick between those two, I'm gonna have to go Last of Us and then Ghost. No offense to you guys, but Last of Us, it just is I like that dark survival story point of it. Now, true, I have not played Ghost of Tsushima much, but I've seen it played and all. But I think Last of Us Part 2 has just really kind of spoken to me a lot more.
Gotcha.
So, but I definitely have to say Ghost of Tsushima is definitely a very top second runner-up in my personal opinion.
Heard that.
Voting wise, I have to go Animal Crossing.
I honestly agree. And before I go ahead, I'm just going to interject real quick. Dark Sage 9117 commented in saying, I have an interesting gaming question for you guys. Yeah, go ahead and just ask your question inside the comments, and I'll go ahead and read it out once you do that. And as we're waiting for your question to be posted, what are your thoughts there, Silent? I mean, Gravity. I called you everything else, but Gravity. Go ahead.
I wish I had a different perspective, because I love being able to have some sort of contrast. But honestly, I really feel like Mildewy hit the nail on the head with it. I personally love Ghost of Tsushima, but I haven't played The Last of Us 2. I sadly haven't even played the first Last of Us. That was a game that came out before I really started to pick up on PlayStation 4 again, sadly. So I'm just I need to play the first game, and then I got to play the second game, and that's just a lot of time I got to dedicate to that. But I have heard a lot of very good things about The Last of Us Part 2. I've heard some critics for it. I've heard some people say it wasn't, I guess, up to what they were expecting it to be. But again, I haven't played it yet, so I need to find the time to get around to actually completing the first game, so I can knock that second game out and really take a look into that and see what that's going to be about. But I mean, yeah, like Mildewy said, Animal Crossing came out at the perfect time. I was somebody who was actually looking forward to Animal Crossing pre-pandemic. I was a huge fan of all of the previous titles. And so I was really looking forward to seeing Animal Crossing. I'm pretty sure I even pre-ordered Animal Crossing to make sure that I was able to actually get it. And it is a fun game. It is an incredibly fun game. I'll admit I did put it down for a bit just because I kind of ran out of stuff to do. But they've been very good with keeping up with updates, sending out community updates, showing up stuff about new content that they're going to be putting in. So, and I think that type of engagement really prolongs the life of any video game. When you have that type of engagement with your audience, when you constantly are putting new content into it, it really feels like the game is a living thing and you're enjoying that world with other people.
Right. Real fast, because I have comments on that as well, and mine is pretty much the same. I know we talked about this a little bit before, but the question that Dark Sage had threw it in there says, I know The Witcher 3 is regarded as the best game in this generation of games, but I also remember a time when Mass Effect 2 was the gold standard in gaming and set the bar in terms of how to make a game and reinvent the genre. Hold on, let me see here. Reinvent the genre. My question is, which game has the bigger impact on gaming industry as a whole? Mass Effect 2 or The Witcher 3? I'm going to throw that one to Mildewy because you are highly deep into, I believe, Mass Effect 2. Have you played Witcher 3?
I have not played any of the Witcher series. I've been a huge fan of the Mass Effect series. Even though people really, dumped on the ending of 3, which I kind of agree with, and a lot of people didn't like Andromeda, which I don't get. I loved Andromeda. I'm definitely going to say Mass Effect is definitely one of my phase picks for this, especially because I feel that they definitely, as you say, they definitely reinvented the genre a bit. Because instead of just telling you a story and creating a story that you play through, where they give you all the answers and you just go through, you have choices now that affect how you play the story. That to me was mind-blowing. Now, the very first ones that kind of did that, though, was the Dragon Age series. They pulled in the effects and all. Fallout also started to play in with some effects as well, too, for that. So those series where you choose how you are you good? Are you neutral? Are you evil? Those series definitely help bring forward a massive change to the gaming world because it's no longer them telling you the story. It's you creating the story based off of this universe that they have made. So it's more expansive, more extensive. There's no longer one ending. There's multiple endings now. And you start to see that play in the live games. Dark Souls started coming out with more multi games depending upon what you did in the story. Did you do this? Did you do A, B, and C? Bloodborne did that too. Towards what are you doing? And then that affects the ending. That is cool. That is phenomenal. It's no longer just, oh, we all know the ending because we all played through the one story. No, there's now like, well, you didn't get this one piece back there because you kind of overlooked it. You didn't want to stick around for it. So, yeah, you're getting this ending. But your friend got it, and now he's got this better ending. Well, now you want to go back and play the game again because you want to get that new ending. Yeah. So, yeah, you only got like 25 hours worth of gameplay on it, but it's like now you're going back and play the game for 50 hours because you want to get those new endings. Oh, wait, you just found out there's like 5 other endings? How many hours of gameplay is that now?
Right.
So,
right.
like, these games, I think, really have brought forward new storytelling capabilities. Now, don't get me wrong. I've heard The Witcher is a fantastic game and all. I kind of want to play it too. It's very good artwork, very good storytelling and all. I've heard it compared to, like, kind of the way, like, Red Dead kind of took the same thing from Witcher 3 and did this really good stuff, but added more onto it in terms of side missions and all that you could do. So, I love Red Dead 2. It's a very good game. So I definitely say they both have contributed, but my vote still is for Mass Effect, BioWare, Dragon Age, Fallout, for them really taking that and just blowing it up. You know, Skyrim, all of them, like with the choices. Your choices affect the gameplay. You play the world as you want to play it. That to me is phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think, and I can echo that too as well. And before I go ahead and talk about my response on here, Dark Sage commented against, and at the time, I remember Mass Effect taking a risk that few other games were doing, and it felt like the game was the culmination of everything of gaming industry that led up to. And even today, it's still being borrowed from in the terms of the ideas, and it took risks that ended up working out. Witcher 3 to me has no offense, basically feels like Mass Effect 2, just polished and refined of a generation for new gamers. So, to that end, because I've actually never really played either one of them, but the closest introduction that I can have to your question there, Dark Sage, is I am a huge advocate for Dragon Age. That's me. And they're the same developer too as well. I'm a huge advocate of Dragon Age. And if Dragon Age is anything, even if it's a sliver of a reflection of Mass Effect, then I have to 100% agree with Mildewy. It's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect. Because, again, like, Witcher, I never really was enticed to play The Witcher until, get this, after I watched the Netflix series. That's when I starting to be wanting to play The Witcher. And even then, I know there's choices in Witcher, at least to some extent, to my understanding. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the game is very linear. It's on one path, still has the same type ending. There might be a few things that might be a little different here. But again, going back to my experience, my personal experience, Malachi 36's experience with the Dragon Age, the very first one, that game can end in so many different ways. You can end the game by yourself and Morgan. You can your main character can die. You can kill your dog. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, yeah. Like, there's all these different Liliana, like, if you do certain things, she can be against you. Stan, like, he's the same thing. Like, there's so many different outcomes that can happen. And even if me and Mildewy decide to choose the same things almost all the way through, if I switch one thing up, that can switch the entire story, the entire plot. And we can end in 2 different scenarios, which is crazy to me. So there's a lot of replayability, and I think for The Witcher, I don't think it has that as much freedom as Mass Effect would in that aspect. I think there's value that BioWare had done. I think there's a lot of value there that they have as far as you getting those games at full price. Because now you're not just playing the game, you just play the story from beginning to end, and you beat it and you're done. No, now you want to go back and see how you play as the villain. Now you want to go back and see how you play as the jokester. And get this, that's just the first game. We're talking about Mass Effect 2, which carries that information that you have played from that one on over to Mass Effect 2. And then it goes on over to the next Mass Effect. You know what I mean? So there's so much. If you sat there and try to play every single scenario on Mass Effect alone, you're not getting done with that game in the next 2 months. You know what I mean? And that's me being generous. So to your question, Mass Effect 100%, hands down, all that. What about you then, Gravity? What are your thoughts about that?
I honestly have to say, first and foremost, this was actually a really good question.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, shout out to you, Dark Shade.
Yeah, this is a good question because I've had time to sit here and just kind of listen to both of you talk about it. You know, me personally, I really hate saying it. I love gaming. I love doing what I'm doing, but I wish I had more time to play more games because sadly I have not played either of those games. But I will say The Witcher 3 is something that I have had my eye on since pre-launch. Like even when they were having their trailers, I was looking at The Witcher 3, and I just never had the money to play it. I just never had the time to play it. But in terms of the question specifically to which had a bigger impact on the gaming industry as a whole, I honestly, like, just from the knowledge that I have, I'd probably have to give it to Mass Effect. I will say that, so with some of the things, I'd have to look at the release dates, and please, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if The Witcher 3 came out before Red Dead or if it came out because for me, at the very least, from what I've seen with The Witcher 3, it looks very much like just a huge open world game where you pretty much just kind of play the game how you want. Like there is kind of like a linear story that you follow, but you can jump around and do other things in the middle of it. And for me, I personally am somebody who loves those types of games, honestly, more than the type of story that Mass Effect has. I like being able to say, oh, hey, I'm supposed to go over there. No, I'm going over here first. And then I'm going over there. And then I'm going to go over there. And then I'm going to backtrack over there. And then I'm going to go do there, maybe. I love absolutely just over leveling myself and then going to the next story part. And they're like, press X to swing your sword. And I'm throwing out combos.
And real quick, I was about to say, and real quick, just throwing this out there because Dark Sage has commented in, and I think Bleeding Aces, aka It's a 9-Ball, and you, Mildewy, can agree to this. They commented in saying, and Mass Effect has Garrus, and Garrus is the best side character ever made.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen, Dark. Girl or boy, like you, Dark, just preach it, man. Preach it. Garrus is the best ever. Like, dude, like every party I ran just had mainly Garrus in it. Like, I don't care about all the other combos. Like, Garrus has got to be on my team. Got to have that sniper behind my back, man. Oh, so fantastic. But to kind of go off of you there, Gravity. So, Mass Effect 3 launched in 2012. Witcher 3 launched in 2015. And then Red Dead launched in 2018. Mass Effect 3 definitely was starting to go towards more of, like, the free roam capability because you go to planet, search for stuff. Now, each world had its own mission, guaranteed. You couldn't really do much free roam exploring and all. Dragon Age Inquisition started doing that themselves. That was I'm trying to remember here. That was launched 2014. So 2014 is they started doing the world where you could kind of free roam it however you kind of wanted in a bit. Now, by free roam, I mean like they had certain zones on the map, and the zones were kind of area where you could kind of go around, explore stuff or do some side missions and little side things and all. So they definitely evolved themselves up. But then Witcher came out in 2015, which I think they kind of also helped influence that as well. The same company made Mass Effect 3 and all that is made Dragon Age. And then you get these open worlds with Witcher 3 and Red Dead. I really think that they kind of looked at it and goes, that's been really popular. Let's take a little bit of a feather out of their book and put it in our cap. So. I definitely kind of feel like they definitely influenced it, even though people don't really say much about it. I really feel like some of them looked at it and goes, that's pretty good. And I will say this, Inquisition, Dragon Age, Mass Effect series, play them, guys. They're really good. You will lose yourself in them. Mass Effect Legacy, which is the revamp of the 1 through 3 series, has been announced. I don't remember a release date on that. I think it's somewhere in, 2021, 22, was that, Malachi?
Talking about for Inquisition?
No, for the Legacy, for the Mass Effect Legacy series, where they're doing the relaunch.
It's supposed to be 2021.
2021? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely look forward to that, guys. I'm actually, like, I've already played through the whole series. I played through multiple campaigns. My bro, TBF Abyss, we've both been through it so much. We cannot wait to see what they're going to do with it. So definitely look forward to it. Pick it up, and then also pick up Dragon Age. It's on Steam if you got a PC. Pretty decently cheap, and it's fun, guys. It's a really good thing, and like Malachi said, especially with Dragon Age, you have so many characters you can choose to start off with, and that's going to affect the entire story and what you can choose later on in the ending. Like, it is so intricately built. Like, you have to play so many hours just to get the entire lore of the game with all the characters. It is ridiculous. but it is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and it looks like actually all of the Mass Effect games and The Witcher 3 are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And so, at least for me, I now have a console that can actually play it and actually have a Game Pass subscription. So I will have to actually check those out. I'll have to make some time and get those under my belt.
Yeah, definitely. Real fast before we go ahead and get off of this particular topic, Dark Sage comments and says, "And if you kill Garrus, I do not know you, and we can never be friends again." And to be and then they said, "And to be honest with you, Mass Effect in a way I felt made the sci-fi generation fun."
Definitely agree, and if I agree with you there, Dark Sage, you kill Garrus, I'm unfriending you right away.
So take that note when you start your run on a Mass Effect.
Yeah, let's see. I gotta get that written down.
Yeah.
Do
You need to do all of
Garrus.
Do not kill
Do all of
Garrus.
his friendship missions. He will survive.
You'll get a text from me just like, so I accidentally killed Garrus.
So,
I'm gonna tell you to reload that save point and try again.
Just like, well, I can't. Well, I'm sure at that point you'll come knock on my door and delete my whole save file and just be like, start over.
Pretty
Do
much.
it again.
You will do it right
this
this time. Pretty much.
well, yeah, guys, and just on a side note, that is pretty much all the good news that we currently have for you guys. Again, Video Game Awards is around the corner. Every Thursday night, if you guys are tuning in onto this, we again want to thank you guys very much for tuning in and showing your support, showing your love, just really getting here and nerding out with us, and just hanging out with us and asking awesome questions like Dark Sage, being part of the community like It's the Nine Ball. You know what I mean? So we really, really appreciate it. Thursday, we're going to be doing some Smite Night, so be on the lookout for that. Having some good times, trying to get a little further inside the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pass. Because I definitely want to get my Leonardo and my Raphael and Michelangelo and Donatello on, you know what I mean? As well as some Shredder and some Splinter. So,
What level are you on that, by the way?
not far. But
I got like 5 levels left, I think.
If I had to buy my way through that pass, I will. But I'd rather play and save the day. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather do.
You mean save your own skin from the honey?
This Saturday, be on the lookout again for that, because we might be doing our 9 to 5 segments after we talk off stream. So be on the lookout for that. And if you guys have any games that are multiplayer, and if you guys have any games that are multiplayer that can be multiplayer with a campaign, please throw it inside the comment section, or just email us at leastwetried.gaming@gmail.com. We'll go ahead and see if we can get that on Game Pass and throw it on there. Or if it's a PS4 game, PS5 game, PS4 game, we'll go ahead and jump on that too as well. But before we go ahead and fully end out the podcast, I want to ask you guys, other than Cyberpunk 2077, and you can also answer this too as well, it's Nineball and Dark Sage 9117. What games are you guys eyeing right now? What are some games that are first on your agenda after Cyberpunk 2077? Because I'm pretty confident everyone here is getting it. What games have you guys been eyeing or looked even interesting to you?
Definitely Horizon Forbidden West for sure. But that's probably going to wait till a PS5 comes out. And then I am very, very interested in that Hogwarts Legacy game.
Yeah, I am too. That looks very interesting to me. Thinking real hard.
I am thinking real hard. I'm thinking so hard. Like I'm really looking forward to Miles Morales. The first Spider-Man game was absolutely great. I loved it so much. It was not like any of the other Spider-Man games that came before it, where you're just shooting webs like directly into the air and like latching onto nothing. And the physics and the graphics for it. Yeah, you remember that?
Oh my god, I got so
that
confused.
used to be
with what it was
Spider-Man.
supposed to be doing. I was like, what is this? This is about as bad as a Superman game, and that says something, people. Those games were god awful. You could not pay the stores to take them back. Like, they wouldn't.
They're just like, oh, Superman?
Like, I'm sorry, I don't remember hearing a game of like that. You know, sorry, no. There's a trash can out back if you want.
Oh, that's our return bin specifically for Superman.
They put like an S sign on it.
I'm really looking forward to Miles Morales. I don't know how long the campaign isn't supposed to be very long.
Yeah,
but I am kind of nervous that like I'm just gonna get Miles Morales, I'm gonna hype myself up for it, and I'm gonna blow through it, and then I'm just gonna be done with it. And I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to do that to Miles Morales. He deserves a lot more than that. But I mean, I've said it before in a previous stream. I'm still kind of looking forward to that Harry Potter game, to be honest.
Yep.
Like I'm still really looking forward to that. I'm really interested to see what that game is gonna have in store. If it's even gonna be good. Like, because at the very least, from what they've shown, it does look like it is going to be very good. It looks like you are going to be, living your entire student life there at Hogwarts. You're going through everything, and I'm interested to see like what that's going to be like, because like I for one am somebody who likes to insert myself into my video games. I love to make my own decisions. Mm-hmm. So like if a game is telling me to go left, I'm going to purposefully go right just to spite the game, just to give me that sense of freedom of choice within a game. But I'm hoping it has that level of choice, right. Because if it's just going to be on rails, then I'll appreciate it. But if they're doing character customizations, I'm really hoping it's going to be more of an open world, more of, honestly, kind of like The Witcher, or like with Red Dead 2, or even like Ghost of Tsushima, like where you have this big open world map, or at the very least you have like a map of Hogwarts that you can kind of mess around in, and you can like kind of like warp to other spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping for a mix of a little bit of the open worldness. You see that in Mass Effect Andromeda. If you play that, like they've got like the areas you can go to, and they got full open, like almost all full open capabilities there. So it'd be nice if you could do more like combined open capabilities, but I want to see the choice base. I'm kind of hoping they have a lot of choice base in there, to where depending upon what house you get in, what you do, can affect the whole, like,
yes.
Because I know it's all, from what I'm understanding, it's all prequel and all, but I still think that you can kind of affect certain things and all in the placement of your character. And I'm kind of hoping that they do throw that in there, because that would be really fun, and that definitely would make me play the game, regardless if it's like short, like maybe 25 hours. Like I said before, that's 25 hours you're going to be redoing all over and over again just to get all the endings or see all the points and all the things you could do, to where it's probably going to be longer, So I'm kind of hoping for that. Now, I'm not psyching myself up for it, because it's up to the developer's choice. I haven't seen much to, back it up. But, a guy can dream.
And I'm also kind of curious, too, as well, how that's going to pan out, to be honest with you. Because, again, the way that the game's set up, I don't know. If they make it an MMORPG, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of choice that will be switching the plot up. But at the same time, I don't know. I really don't know how it's going to be. Maybe if it's single player, I think there's endless possibilities that they can do with that. But if it's multiplayer, which I would prefer, because that means I can play with you guys, I don't know if how much choice would actually be implemented in that particular setup. On a side note, it's the 9ball commented in saying the medium, which I know you said it last stream, and you're definitely excited about that game too as well. And that's on the Xbox Series X. I don't know if it's coming to PS5. I can't remember if they said that. I know it's coming to PC. But yeah, that one was one that looks interesting, but it's not up my alley. That's just me, just because I'm not into horror games. But yeah, more power to you. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out the medium, look at the trailer for that. And of course, when that game drops, be on the lookout for It's the 9balls Twitch page, because I can almost guarantee he'll be streaming it if his internet is up and good at that time period. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. For me, I'm actually there's two games I'm actually very interested in, and it's not so much like my hype level's all the way up here for it, but it's just more me actually being interested in it. And that's one, I actually was talking to Gravity Mark and Abs3315 about this. Fuser. That game looks very interesting. That's the one with the DJ. So it's like Dance Dance Revolution, but it's a DJ type game, and you can pretty much, you're being the DJ. You're living the dreams of a DJ. And it's like a mixture of, again, Dance Dance Revolution, Rock Band. Looks pretty cool. Looks like it's a new drop, too. I don't think it's an old game. It looks like it's actually relatively new. And I've been hearing a lot more articles about it. I know Blessing Adeoye Jr. from Kind of Funny Games really likes that game a lot, but I think he's towards the end portion of it, but he has a good time with it. Gary Whitta has been having fun with that, too, as well. And as others, Twitchers and streamers I've been seeing having fun with that. So that's actually kind of been on my radar. And another one that has been on my radar that I do want to check out, and even more so after playing Astro's Playroom more,
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That was good.
Yeah, is Destruction All Stars. That's another game I'm very excited about because I really want to see, and that's going to be free on the PS5. That's going to be a free Plus games. And speaking of Plus games, in case you guys have missed it, today is Tuesday. So Just Cause 4, Rocket Arena, and Worms Rumble are all free on the PS4 right now. And of course, and of course, if you guys have PlayStation 5, you guys have your freaking bug snacks. And that's
hey, you know what? We're gonna get on that couch. Get on that couch. We are going to get on that camera.
Put it in the library.
I already have it, Mildewy. I already have it.
Good.
I'm gonna have the biggest. You know what, Mildewy? Let's both go over there. Let's sandwich it. We'll sit next to him. We'll sit next to him. We'll just be. We're gonna sandwich you, Malachi, and we're going to enjoy bug snacks. We are going to solve crime. We're going to solve mysteries. We're going to catch those bug snacks.
This doesn't sound healthy for our relationship, for our friendship. I don't. 9-ball. Why are you encouraging this? He says, "Get him, Gravity." What? Why? Why? What have I done to you?
You gotta do it, man.
You know what?
And to finalize it, Malachi Jr. is going to be on your lap. He's going to anchor you down. And we're going to teach him the love of bug snacks.
Ban someone from Twitch. How to ban?
We'll be like, little Malachi Jr. Look, it's bug snacks.
Nope, he ain't watching.
He's gonna love it.
That's gonna be one of his first words. He's gonna be like, bug snacks. And you're gonna be like,
bug snacks. And he throws his ball at it,
like no, FIFA. Say FIFA.
There you go. Yeah, I'm down for some FIFA. Go ahead and jump on that. FIFA be Malachi's first official words when he knows what he's saying.
Nope, it's going to be bug snacks. This has already been predestined, preordained,
Well, that actually does it here for us at ALWT Things Gaming. Again, episode 25. Once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and for nerding out with us, hanging out with us, giving us some suggestions, all that good stuff. Be on the lookout again for Smite Night, which typically is all day. I normally join Smite Night around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just because I have prior obligations in the daytime. But I'll be joining on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Ohio, and it's the 9-ball who's in the chat right now, aka Bleeding Aces, as Smite would know him. On Saturday, again, this is still up for discussion, but be on the lookout for our 9 to 5 segment. And according to Mildewy Carrot, it might be a 10 to 6 for him. We'll have to see. And then, of course, next week will be another episode of ALWT Things Gaming. We're going to have various different streams. Next Thursday is going to be VGA Awards, or VGAs. And, yeah, we'll go from there. We're going to have a good time.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. And if you guys have not already followed us, please make sure you guys are following us on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, ALWT Gaming, pretty much everything. YouTube is at least we tried gaming. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, if you guys want to go ahead and try to get one of the ALWT shirts / hoodies, or both, you guys can. All you have to do is just go to patreon.com/ALWT Gaming, sign up to be one of the ALWT fam, and we'll be happy to send you out one of those merchandise.
They're pretty good. They're pretty breathable.
It's a great time.
Love the t-shirts. Very nice.
And lastly,
Egyptian cotton.
And before we go ahead and end off this stream, any final words, Gravity or Mildewy? Any final words?
Just have fun gaming, people. Just have fun gaming. Enjoy yourself. It's rough out there right now.
Yeah, it is.
Please wear your mask. Please wear your mask. If you have health conditions, try to work with it. We all want to be safe. We all want to be taking care of each other. Just be nice. If someone's giving you a hard time, maybe something's going on in their life. Maybe they just lost somebody. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Let's all try to just not spread that negativity.
There you go.
Let's just try to just kill them with kindness.
Peace, love, and hair grease. Mildewy, what about you? And if you say bug snacks, I swear.
I was gonna say, eat some bug snacks and brighten up your day.
Something else.
No, but I definitely agree with Gravity there. Definitely try and be, common understanding with people, and that not only goes with in life but online, guys. Come on, there is no need to troll. There's no need to hate and be toxic online. There's enough going on in the world to where we don't need people online trying to put other people down just because you want to make yourself feel better. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I definitely seen some stuff where people have gone down those roads and we haven't gotten them back. So. It's not worth it, guys. It's really not. So just even if someone's being even if someone online is being toxic to you, don't be toxic back. Just ignore them. Just say, dude, really, and then just move on, because half the time you're not even going to see them again. So no need to get lit over just one person. So
there you go.
And if it's too much, then take a step back, play a nice single player game like Bugsnax.
Yeah, play Bugsnax. Play something.
Anyway,
play something to take your mind off of stuff.
You guys are something else. Well, on that note, thank you to my wonderful co-hosts and units and friends and brethren. Always a pleasure to have you guys on the podcast. And then everyone that's in the chat that's currently watching right now live or watching later, thank you very much again. Until next time, Control, Alts,
Complete.
Peace.